Hello. Not bad. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are the City of Greenville, South Carolina, and we have a special presentation for you this afternoon. If you look in our outstanding corner here, you will see our manager, Ms. Labyrinth, and she will present to you the state of the city. And you may applaud now.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm proud to stand here surrounded by the talented team of public servants to present the 2025 State of the City. Greenville continues to grow and evolve, and amidst the momentum, we pause today to reflect on our shared accomplishments. Our progress is a result of the leadership of this City Council. Thank you. Also, the dedication of city staff and invaluable contribution of our community partners, your collaboration and commitment to a better Greenville made all of this possible. Everyone loves fun facts, so to open the state of the city, I thought I'd share some interesting facts about our city. Greenville is over 31 square miles. We have a total population of 78,805 with over 37,000 households. Our average household is 2.02, and we have approximately 2,500 people per square mile. Our daytime population almost doubles to 154,000, indicating our role as the heartbeat of our state and as a strong economic and employment hub for South Carolina. The largest age cohort is 25 to 34, which speaks to the attractiveness of our city for younger generation and families, as well as an available workforce full of talent. Over 56% of our residents have bachelor's or advanced degrees. We have more rental housing than owner occupied, and the median home value is $439,000. Our major industries include health services, retail trade, finance, education, construction, and of course, manufacturing. Overall, Greenville is a young, educated, and economically active city. Due to our youthful urban population, Esri classifies us as the young and the restless. Now, I'll decide who plays the role of Victor Newman. Our young and restless fans understand that we should start laughing because that's the only joke of this. Before I discuss the progress we made in each of your 5 priority areas, I'd like to begin where we left off here. As you may remember, last year, I concluded the state of the city with a look ahead at some of the projects and initiatives we would be focusing on. So I'd like to share where each of those stand today. First, evaluate the performance of the new development code and its effectiveness. When the Greenville Development Code was adopted in July 2023, we committed to reviewing it every 6 months for the first year and annually thereafter to ensure that it continues to work effectively and meet the needs of our community. To date, we have completed those and will soon begin the process for the 24-month review. Some of the key changes recommended thus far include 1, an overhaul of the code's changes of use requirements to lessen the burden on small businesses moving into existing buildings. We are a community that supports small business, and we want our action and codes to reflect that value. New administrative relief provisions to better accommodate challenging sites and adaptive reuse projects were implemented. These changes allow the planning staff to be nimble and responsive. We adjusted sign standards in response to feedback from city review staff and sign contractors, and we expanded tree protection along interstate frontages. The provisions disincentivize the removal of the existing tree canopy along Greenville's interstate highways. Complete and begin implementation of the first node plans. In 2023, Council adopted the Airport District Study, which provides a 15-year comprehensive study for this area surrounding the downtown airport, an asset we have yet to fully embrace. Building upon the recommendations of the study, an approximately 10-acre property adjacent to the Swan Private Trail Green Line extension will become a new wheel park that will include both a skate park and a paved pump track. Additionally, as part of the project, a 4.5-mile loop trail will be constructed along the edge of the downtown airport. This year, we entered into a lease agreement with our partners at the downtown airport for the property for the real park, and contracts are being finalized with 3 firms to complete the design. We are excited to see this project come to fruition. Select notes for subsequent rounds of small area planning implementation. This year, staff completed, with strong support from our neighborhood residents and leaders, and you all adopted, small area plans for both the Haney Serene and Greenlawn Spartanburg communities. For our next area of focus, we have allocated funding in this budget for small area planning for our West Greenville neighborhood. The work being done through the South Downtown Sewer Improvement Project and the property we purchased in Haney Serene will position us well to begin implementation of the Haney Serene Plan. An internal cross-departmental team is currently looking at the infrastructure challenges in Greenlawn Spartanburg with recommendations on how we should invest in the neighborhood plan. Continue land acquisition. Well, this year, we made a once-in-a-generation purchase of more than 6 acres in the Haney Serene community, adjacent to downtown, to ensure that the land is developed in a way that preserves the neighborhood character, working with the neighborhood, and furthers the city's priority goals of affordable housing, open space, and mobility. I am excited to share tonight that we are also looking at ways we can expand our ownership opportunities in the Greenlawn Spartanburg neighborhood. And after more than a year of waiting on HUD, we finally closed on the property at the corner of Dunbar and Augusta, which will allow for the future Dunbar extension, benefiting several of our downtown neighborhoods, such as Haney Serene and Greater Sullivan. Through annexation, we also accepted a land donation of approximately 9.2 acres from Home Depot USA. The donated property is adjacent to the Wynwood Soccer Complex near Ridge Road and supports the city's ongoing efforts to preserve open space. Prepare or update corridor plans for the key corridors. I'm very excited to share that this year's corridor focus will be Pleasantburg Drive. Pleasantburg Drive has more traffic accidents than any stretch of roadway within the city of Greenville, and 5 of the 10 intersections with the most accidents. Development of a new small area plan to replace the previous plan from 2004 is scheduled to begin this fall and will span into 2026. The effort will be spearheaded by the city's planning and engineering teams and will include significant public outreach with property owners, business owners, nearby residents, and more. In addition to the master planning efforts along Pleasantburg Drive, engineering will evaluate key sections of the corridor for the quick build safety improvement projects as part of the city's Safe Street for All grants from USDOT. We look forward to re-envisioning this area with the public's help, as Pleasantburg Drive remains an important corridor for commuters, those conducting business, and visitors to our Greenville Convention Center and the downtown airport. Additional parking for the West End. As we all know, the need to provide additional parking options in the West End became more urgent with the loss of the County Square surface lot. And this year, you approved the construction of a new parking garage on House Street. The 400-space garage is expected to be completed in spring of 2026. We also recently leased a portion of Greenville Transit Authority's property on Augusta Street to create a new 38-space parking lot with an additional 75 spaces on the way this summer. Reimagine City Hall. We are currently conducting our feasibility study for the renovation of City Hall. Specifically, we are exploring a project that will relocate council chambers to the first floor, along with an engaging public entrance and an opportunity for a small restaurant, cafe, and coffee shop. We also envision removing the exterior facade of the building and replacing it with a new curtain wall system that will bring in natural light while still being an attractive addition to the downtown skyline. We are taking our time on moving forward with this project, as we are committed to completing it in the most economical way possible, utilizing capital reserves with no consideration of a tax millage increase. Create a downtown design center. A civic design center where we can foster collaboration and engage the public in our community planning efforts is something this council first discussed in 2021. And as your planner emeritus, it's one of the projects I'm most excited about. Our civic design center will be a place where we can bring the community together. We currently have a lease in place for the building at 15 South Main Street. Construction funds have been secured, and staff is meeting regularly with our partners to refine and finalize elements of our new Greenville Civic Design Center. Construction is underway with a planned opening in January. We look forward to unveiling the center to the community and expanding existing partnerships, and more exciting, build upon existing partnerships with our new space. In anticipation of the opening of the design center, we have commissioned Seaman Whiteside Associates to complete a 3D model of downtown so that existing and proposed architecture can be readily displayed and explored by staff and the public. And finally, rebuild the Southern Side and Viola Community Centers. The new Southern Side Community Center, the old Southern Side Community Center has been demolished. And construction is underway on the new multi-service center. The new Viola Community Center is currently in the design and permitting phase. Its design will mirror the Southern Side Center, and once construction begins, the project is expected to take 12 months to complete. Mayor and City Council, Mayor Pro Tem and City Council, you may have noticed a recurring theme throughout this recap, one that will also be at the heart of tonight's remarks: unity. Unity within our team, across the community, and among our many partners. These accomplishments are only possible through a shared commitment and collective sense of purpose for our city. While many State of the City addresses this year have included calls for unity, our story is different. Thanks to our shared vision in Greenville 2040 and our clearly defined priorities, our community already embodies that unity. So with unity as our guiding theme for our community, and as you listen for moments that reflect it, let's turn our focus to our 5 priority areas, beginning with public safety and engagement. This year was marked by something none of us could have predicted last year, something that tested all the measures we put in place to protect us from the unknown. Of course, I'm referring to Hurricane Helene, which struck in September, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. It was preceded by a microburst downtown that was just a taste of what was to come a few days later. The city storm response was immediate, with emergency and operations departments working to protect the driving public. And once the threat passed, a cross-departmental team sprang into action, responding to calls for help, getting traffic signals back online, assessing damage, and resuming city services to our residents, including serving every single one of our solid waste customers on Monday. The collaboration among our staff and with our partners was breathtaking. But equally as breathtaking was the unity and support the community provided one another. What followed was months of painstaking debris removal, utilizing contracts that we were smart enough to have in place for just this purpose, and meticulous record keeping to ensure that FEMA would reimburse us for the expenses we incurred. Our region was also tested recently by wildfires at Table Rock. While we were not directly impacted, we sent both personnel and equipment, lending our support and expertise to neighboring communities. It was a true operation of widespread unity amongst many upstate communities to fight the fires. And I was in awe of the togetherness I experienced when visiting the fire sites. As I mentioned during our budget workshops, public safety accounts for the highest percentage of spending in the city's general fund. And the superior service provided by our police and fire departments is one of the most compelling benefits of living in the city of Greenville. The police department Police Department recently completed its year 3 of 4 review by the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. They were evaluated on more than 100 standards and received an excellent review.
All right.
For our city businesses and homeowners, I would like to point out that the fire department maintained its Class 1 Insurance Services Office ISO rating.
Yes.
The Class 1 rating is the highest public protection classification that can be earned and reflects the department's commitment to excellent fire protection and its effectiveness in mitigating fire-related risks within the community. They did all of this while responding to 15,699 calls for service last year, which equates to almost 25,000 unit responses in 1 year. Despite our reputation as one of the fastest growing cities in the country, Greenville remains an extremely safe city. Crime is the lowest it's been in 10 years, and our violent crime clearance rate is more than double the national average. There is a national trend of rising numbers of auto break-ins and stolen vehicles, yet our crime comparison of 2024 to 2023 showed a reduction in both categories, down 5% in auto break-ins and 20% in auto thefts. In fact, the city showed a reduction in all categories of Part 1 property crimes. We continue to add public safety resources, including opening the new public safety campus and municipal complex on Halton Road with our new municipal courtrooms and state-of-the-art dispatch and traffic management centers. We also funded the construction of a new fire station to replace the aging, outdated station on Stone Avenue. The new station will be located next to the existing station, and once we break ground, construction is expected to take 12 to 14 months. We also continue to implement a staffing and equipment plan for both our police and fire departments to ensure we have the personnel and equipment needed to effectively serve the community and address potential challenges in a dynamic environment. Not only are we adding officers and firefighters in this budget and upgrading radios and protective equipment, we are also finding ways to retain our public safety personnel, such as paying additional compensation for officers and dispatchers who voluntarily work night shift. Our next priority area is mobility and transportation. In addition to the public safety campus and municipal complex, we also celebrated the opening of Greenlink's new operation and maintenance facility on Arcadia Drive, which houses Greenlink's administration, dispatch, and maintenance services together in one location for the very first time. The new facility will aid Greenlink in implementing recommendations from its transit development plan, including 30-minute frequency on 4 key routes. The facility is currently located just outside the city, but we anticipate annexing the property in FY26. Another celebration is also on the horizon as the construction of the cultural corridor is expected to be completed in early summer. This project is transforming the busy College Buncombe Street arterial into a pedestrian-friendly, multimodal urban street, improving safety, walkability, and access to popular cultural destinations at Heritage Green. Similarly, the East-North Gateway project is reimagining a key entry corridor into downtown with a focus on pedestrian safety, traffic calming, and beautification. This project near the Bonsa Force Wellness Arena and the proposed Autorade development, formerly known as the Gateway, will create a more welcoming and connected experience for residents and visitors. Funding for this project includes $2.25 million in state funds, but bids came in last week at $1.798 million, proving once again that the city of Greenville knows how to save taxpayer dollars and complete projects under budget. I have to brag on our engineering team for one moment. They completed over 11 projects specifically for the city last year and were able to save the city $1.2 million in those projects. And on their state projects over the past 2 years, the team has saved over $900,000. On a citywide level, implementation of both the Pedestrian Safety Action Plan and the Traffic Safety Action Plan continues, using data to apply resources where they are most needed. In the past 2 years, the city has installed or repaired more than 3 miles of sidewalk, added more than 500 accessible sidewalk ramps, installed 632 ADA ramps and high visibility crosswalks, enhanced 8 pedestrian crossings with pedestrian hybrid beacons and rectangular rapid flashing beacons, installed or enhanced over 11 miles of bicycle lanes, paved more than 20 miles of roadway, implemented almost 3.5 miles of lane reductions to slow vehicular traffic, and installed 21 traffic calming features. One of the larger projects this year was the East Parkins Mill Traffic Safety Improvement Project, which included the installation of raised intersections on East Parkins Mill at Round Pond Road and Collins Creek Road. A project that was expected to have widespread impact on traffic in the city is SCDOT's Church Street Bridge project, which began on April 15 with the closure of 1 lane of traffic in each direction. The city led the effort to establish detour routes designed to reduce congestion by encouraging drivers to avoid the bridge altogether. The city's communication department launched a full-scale awareness campaign in advance of the project, which included the tagline, "Scout Your Route," which I love, I think that's cute, along with an interactive map and videos highlighting the detour routes. So far, because of the work of our engineering team to retime signals and implement detour routes, combined with the efforts of our communications team, construction has proceeded smoothly and there has been no significant impact on the flow of traffic over and around the bridge. The Swamp Rabbit Trail plays a vital role in furthering the city's connectivity goals by serving as the central spine in the city's multimodal transportation network. It links neighborhoods, parks, schools, employment centers, and cultural destinations. The city recently launched a multi-phase project to develop a new extension of the Swamp Rabbit Trail Orange Line through the North Main community. The study is expected to last 6 months and include several opportunities for public engagement. The Orange Line will provide a critical connection for an entire section of the city that does not have direct access to the Swamp Rabbit Trail. The Verde Pedestrian Bridge project is also part of a larger vision to improve multimodal connectivity between key areas of the city, especially near CU I-CAR and the Swamp Rabbit Trail. We just received bids for the project on Friday. With an apparent low bid of $4.7 million, we had budgeted $5.3 million. The city is also looking at ways to enhance mobility options for our employees, including maintaining a fleet of e-bikes. In the past year, our PRP staff alone logged over 900 miles on their e-bikes. Another cost-saving measure we've taken is to establish a city vehicle pool to reduce the need for employees to use their personal vehicles for city business, maximize the use of our existing city vehicles, and reduce the need to purchase new vehicles. Before I move on to the next priority area, I think it's important to mention the city's neighborhood infrastructure bond, which is a $36 million investment focused on improving infrastructure and connectivity within the city. We are currently in round 2 of the NID, and due to the city's excellent credit rating and investor confidence, we generated nearly $2 million of bond premiums, raising the capital project total from $18 million to $20 million. Our next priority area is recreation, open space, and sustainability. We can't talk about recreation, open spaces, and sustainability without acknowledging the 20th anniversary of Falls Park, which we celebrated earlier this year. Falls Park's role in the revitalization of downtown proves the power of parks to spur significant economic and social benefits to our city. Like Falls Park, Unity Park continues to serve as a recreation hub and gathering space for the community. And the park's 2 new signature features will only increase its popularity and secure its reputation as one of Greenville's premier destinations. The Thomas and Vivian A. Wong Honor Tower is nearing completion, and the construction of Mayberry Park is well underway. We anticipate opening Mayberry Park in August and the Honor Tower later this May. This year, we also focused our efforts on enhancing our older parks throughout the city to ensure that they continue to serve the recreation needs of everyone in our community. Construction of Brooks Playground in Cleveland Park, the city's first fully inclusive playground, began in December and is expected to be completed in August. We are nearing completion of the Cleveland Park Sports Project and completed a similar smaller project in McPherson Park. The next park we will focus on is Holmes Park. That project is scheduled to begin in the coming weeks. On a neighborhood level, this year, we made significant improvements at Crossstone Park, bringing fresh energy and excitement to the neighborhood. Additionally, working with community leaders, we transformed our underutilized green space in the Nicholtown neighborhood into a pocket park known as Twin Oaks Park. Similarly, we created a passive park space for the Sherwood Forest neighborhood for a small vacant city park parcel called Loxley Park. The space features new trees and park amenities such as dogway stations, benches, and picnic tables. Returning to the Nicholtown neighborhood, construction has finally begun on the Nicholtown neighborhood community. And in the coming weeks, residents should start seeing the walls for the new center taking shape. The project is expected to be completed by this time next year. This was also a very busy and exciting year at the Greenville Zoo, topped by an outstanding accreditation report from the association. I'm looking for Bill, I'm trying to find, there it is. Topped by an outstanding accreditation report from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, which reaffirmed the zoo's accreditation for another 5 years. This marks 35 years of continuous accreditation for the zoo. A new strategic plan was developed and adopted for the zoo that will provide the framework for how the zoo will operate and focus its efforts, and a new facility concept plan was also created that illustrates projects to be completed over the next 5 to 15 years. Other zoo highlights include the opening of the Mary H. Hughes Africa Plaza, which brought a new species to the zoo, the Cape porcupine, and provided a new home for the Aldabra tortoises. The old lion exhibit was renovated to bring in a new species. I'm sure it's going to one day be my favorite. The African painted dogs, which are endangered. The Asia and South America Dens project replaced outdated quarters for my personal favorite, the red panda, and for the Eurasian eagle owl, Harris hawk, and ocelots. We also welcomed 2 new critically endangered Amur leopards, Baja and Irina, as part of the AZA species survival plan. And our love for animals also extends to our sustainability efforts. The Goat Squad is literally munching its way across the city, and goatscaping continues to be an eco-friendly solution. Who would have thought that we were talking about goats so lovingly? To the invasive vegetation. To date, the herd of 29 goats has removed invasives from approximately 10.5 acres of city property. One of the most significant gains we made this year under the sustainability umbrella is the hiring of a sustainability and resilience coordinator who is housed in the new Department of Project Management. Cassandra hit the ground running and is currently working on several initiatives and opportunities. One of her most exciting projects is establishing a new resilience hub for the city. A resilience hub is a trusted physical space designed to serve the community during daily, adverse, or recovery conditions. While we hope there is not another Helene, we must take action to be prepared. I'm excited to share tonight that the new Nicholtown Neighborhood Community Center will house the city's first resilience hub.
All right.
Another important step we've taken this year is to update the city's multi-hazard mitigation plan, which is a requirement for disaster assistance and for participation in the National Flood Insurance Program's CRS program, which ultimately lowers flood insurance rates for residents of the city. We are also delivering on our promise to preserve open space. Since the adoption of Greenville 2040 in 2021, the city has preserved over 430 acres of open space. Of these, 120 acres were part of the 2,700 originally identified by Greenville 2040. The goal was to preserve up to 35% of Greenville's vacant land over 20 years, and at the 5-year mark, we are currently at 5%. However, we must accept the challenge to do better. Since 2021, the city has preserved over 300 acres of additional open space through our annexation efforts and has purchased 3 properties for open space totaling 18.6 acres. In addition, we applied some of our open space funds to the 6.1 acre purchase in Haney Serene, ensuring that future development will include open space and trail connectivity. This summer, we have budgeted funds to hire a land planner to ensure this site is developed to the highest and best use for its location in the neighborhood and includes affordable housing, quality design, and open space. Since the inception of the 2021 tree ordinance, development fees have generated approximately $1.91 million in mitigation funds. We have spent $758,000 strengthening our tree canopy by either purchasing and planting trees, giving away saplings to the public for planting on private property, improving the existing tree canopy with disease treatments, pruning and other maintenance measures, purchasing open space, and offsetting tree and landscape costs for affordable housing projects. Another exciting milestone this year was earning a Level 1 Arboretum accreditation. This status reflects our commitment to the tree plan and our prioritization of recreation, open spaces, and sustainability. We are currently working toward a Level 2 status. Additional focus areas this coming year include developing a small area tree plan, planting 100+ trees at Timmons Park, reforesting sliding rock, creating microforests with one planned near the new Loxley Park in Sherwood Forest, working with Trees Upstate on private property plantings and reforesting areas impacted by Hurricane Helene. Our next priority area is neighborhoods and affordable housing. Many of the highlights I've already shared directly impact the quality of life in our neighborhoods, including new sidewalks, traffic calming, public safety, and recreational amenities. So I'm going to focus on some of our key efforts related to affordable housing. The newest tool in our toolbox is the ability to use a portion of the local and state accommodation tax revenue we receive to support workforce housing. To be eligible, we were required to conduct a housing impact analysis. As of December, we were only one of 5 cities in South Carolina to complete the housing impact analysis and take advantage of this new opportunity to increase local funding to support affordable housing projects. To date, we have used those funds to purchase a 2-acre lot on West Washington Street near Unity Park to create workforce housing options. Between local and state ATACs, we are adding $1.6 million to the budget for workforce housing. Through the Tree Fund, the city has made meaningful contributions to support affordable housing initiatives while also waiving fees to further demonstrate our commitment to community development. Examples include waiving $5,700 in tree fees for affordable housing on Cowan Court, waiving $30,000 in tree fees for the Greystone development, waiving $96,000 in tree fees for the Raleigh Overbrook development, contributing $24,000 to the Raleigh Overbrook for tree purchase and planting required by ordinance, and contributing $24,000 to the Raleigh Overbrook for additional trees upstream development from I-385. We will also be refunding $65,000 in permit fees for the Raleigh Overbrook and $48,000 in permit fees for Gateway at the Green once these projects are completed. On that note, I'm happy to announce that plans are in the works for ribbon cuttings for both of these projects this summer. Along with our partners at United Way, we participated in an initiative designed to bring government, nonprofits, businesses, and faith-based organizations together to address the issue of homelessness in our community. Guided by a leading homelessness expert, the initiative called Greenville Together resulted in the development of a 1-year action plan to reduce unsheltered homelessness and a 3-year comprehensive plan to drive lasting change. Efforts are currently focused on the Rutherford Street corridor, and a series of public open houses will be held over the next 6 months to introduce the initiative and engage the community. The first community conversation on homelessness will be held May 21st. Our final priority area is economic development. In partnership with our Economic Development Corporation, we made meaningful strides to attract high-impact industries and strengthen Greenville's innovation ecosystem. Over the past year, the GCEDC actively engaged with 142 prospective economic development opportunities across targeted sectors, as well as major mixed-use redevelopments and retail. These efforts are strongly supported by our regional partners, reinforcing our position as a hub for next-generation industry. The city played a central role in facilitating a newly launched high-impact collaboration initiative among Greenville's 5 largest economic development organizations, uniting, integrating efforts under a shared vision for targeted growth and prosperity for all. 2 of this year's economic development project wins include the location of Paxton's state-of-the-art North American headquarters and operations base here in Greenville. Additionally, the city worked hand in hand with the county to locate a significant life sciences advanced manufacturing company on the CU IPAR campus. Through strategic public-private partnerships, we continue to support projects that will transform our city and revitalize abandoned buildings and former textile mill sites. We executed several strategic partnerships this year, such as the reimagination of 300 Smethy Avenue site. The new lights turned on Friday. Looking ahead, we're preparing to launch a microgrant program in the 3rd quarter. Designed to accelerate economic mobility, this initiative will offer targeted support for underrepresented entrepreneurs and small businesses across our community. Additionally, the successful sale of the former municipal court building at 426 North Main Street will pave the way for a vibrant new development in a prominent and highly visible area of downtown. Leaving downtown for a moment, the creation of the new Lawrence Road Tax Increment Financing or TIF district was another major milestone. The first new TIF since 2014, it will allow the city to proactively guide and support reinvestment on 223 acres along a major gateway and transportation corridor with significant redevelopment potential. In addition to the high-profile projects I just described, we made meaningful strides behind the scenes to encourage continued investment in the city and support economic mobility for all of our citizens. In the wake of Hurricane Helene, we waived permit fees and certificates of appropriateness and prioritized inspections for storm damaged properties. We continue to receive applications from storm damage caused by Helene. To date, we have waived fees and plan reviews for 240 permitted projects. The project valuations for these 240 permits total $46,316 for repairs and reconstruction. And we have completed over 534 inspections on those permits alone to date. We also streamlined the permitting process citywide to reduce our review times, which continue to go down even as permit numbers go up. In January, our staff team met to discuss the efficiency of our planning review processes and ways that we could increase our productivity. We implemented our plan, and over the past 3 months, all reviewing departments have reduced residential review time from an 11-day average to a 6-day average.
All right.
And commercial review averages went from 18 days to 15 days, with most departments completing their reviews in 10 days or less. While we are still looking for ways to increase efficiencies, these reductions are significant for the city and our development community as our permit numbers continue to match or exceed those of previous years. It is also important to note that we are making these improvements without an increase in staffing. We also hosted 2 vendor fairs to expand our current vendor pool and provide networking opportunities for small local businesses, which resulted in local neighborhood companies, one over in Nicholtown, being hired as subcontractors. And while I have a few things that don't necessarily fit into one of your priority areas, there are a few additional highlights from this year that I would like to share with you. First, we had the opportunity to recognize and celebrate the contributions of some of the citizens who helped shape our community. And this list is by no means exhaustive. It's just a sampling of the many, many talented people we have here in this city. But sadly, we lost a beloved member of our community with the passing of Ruth Ann Butler, who devoted her life to the preservation of Greenville's history. To help continue her legacy, council approved an abandoned building tax certification application for the former Cultural Exchange Center at 700 Arlington Avenue, where Ms. Butler housed and displayed many of the historic materials she gathered for years. We also honored the lifelong contributions of another Greenville native, Theo Mitchell, by naming a new extension of Bradshaw Street in the county square development after him. In April, Craig Brown, the owner and chairman of the Greenville Drive, was awarded the South Carolina Order of the Palmetto at the opening of the Drive's 20th anniversary season. We can't imagine a West End without Ford Field or baseball. And there was an impact study released today about the $300 million impact that they've had on our community. And who doesn't love Mice on Main? Zan Wells, the Mice on Main creator, was also awarded the Order of the Palmetto in April and is known for several prominent sculptures around town. Zan is 90, and she didn't start sculpting until she was 55. So there's still hope for me yet in my next chapter. In 2022, Glennis Redmond, a renowned performance poet, became the city's first poet laureate. And this year, we were honored to continue our relationship by reappointing her to another term. Also this year, Glennis was one of our lead storytellers on our second annual Black History Month bus tour, which showcases locations in the city that provided healthcare, education, and office spaces during segregation and celebrates the places where the civil rights movement sparked change. I'm very excited to share that Glennis will also receive the South Carolina Order of the Palmetto on May 20th. In addition to focusing on the work we've done in the community, I'd also like to focus on some of the things we've done internally to further our commitment to being one of Greenville's premier employers. It is important to me that the city of Greenville is a place where employees are encouraged to pursue a career in public service, know they are part of one unified team, feel supported and valued because they and are given opportunities for advancement in the organization. To that end, I'm proud to say that since I became city manager, we've had 230 internal promotions. Other important steps that we've taken to attract and retain employees include providing annual cost of living adjustments, creating the city's first employee engagement committee to foster a positive and collaborative team-driven workplace culture, and hosting citywide holiday party and quarterly treat days at our various facilities. In addition, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the successful year of our city attorney's office. The legal team resolved many items for the city this year and did an incredible amount of work behind the scenes. They are a great support to me and the entire city. In addition, they processed 1,474 FOIA requests last year alone. So we keep working with exciting projects and initiatives for the upcoming year that I'd like to talk about. Now that we've reflected on the past year, I'd like to share some of the exciting things that are in the pipeline for next year that I haven't already covered during this address. First, this year's annual July 4th celebration will take place on July 3rd at Unity Park. This change will help support local businesses that are open on July 3rd, creating more opportunities for community engagement and economic activity. It also allows more city employees to fully enjoy the 4th of July holiday with their friends and family. The Downtown Ambassador Program. The city recently issued a request for proposals for downtown ambassador services to enhance an experience of residents, visitors, and businesses in the downtown area, including public spaces and parks. Staff will look to add those services by early fall. Open streets, beginning Saturday, May 24th, that's right around the corner. We will enact a pilot closure of select sections of Main Street as a strategic opportunity to enhance the downtown experience for both businesses and visitors. The closures will take place beginning at 1 p.m. on Saturdays and remain in place until 3 a.m. on Sundays. By limiting traffic access, we can significantly reduce our noise pollution, creating a more welcoming and enjoyable environment for pedestrians. This change will also empower local businesses to utilize their encroachment areas to support a more vibrant, people-focused destination. The Downtown Design Guidelines. On May 27th, the planning staff and their consultants will kick off the Downtown Design Guidelines update. Cooper Carey, an Atlanta-based architecture and design firm, was selected to spearhead an evaluation of the current guidelines and identify enhancements to account for the broader design review boundary. Ultimately, the updated downtown design guidelines will be more responsive to the diverse conditions and architectural trends we're experiencing within our downtown and in the West End neighborhood, while maintaining the high-quality urban design we've come to expect. The International Farmyard and Event Space at the Zoo. The next big project for the Greenville Zoo is the International Farmyard and Event Venue. This exciting partnership involves removing the existing farmyard exhibit and building a new 2-story exhibit with animal viewing on the ground floor and new event space on the second floor. Swamp Rabbit Trail Rehab. In addition to identifying opportunities to create new trails, such as the Airport Loop Trail and the Orange Line, we are also ensuring that our existing trails are in good condition. We are in phase 1 of our Swamp Rabbit Trail Rehab and Improvements project, and we will be upgrading the well-used section of the Swamp Rabbit Trail between River Street and Unity Park. Downtown Transportation Master Plan. Another project that you'll be hearing about is phase 2 of the Downtown Transportation Master Plan. This planning effort will focus on multimodal transportation needs in the Central Business District. Phase 1 of the plan was completed in 2019 and identified several short-term transportation projects, and now we are moving on to beginning phase 2 of that plan, which will be much more intense in terms of the projects, and we have our first public meeting this week. Redeveloping Mayberry Street. This year, we will finally focus on planning efforts for Mayberry Street and disposition of the Mayberry Street property. With the completion of Unity Park Phase 2, it is time to get serious about our plans for Mayberry Street. Disposition of the property will allow for the proceeds to be reinvested into other projects within the city. West Greenville Community Center. The contract is signed with an architecture team that has extensive experience in community center design projects. We expect to begin the community engagement process early this summer, which will lead us to a vision for a new West Greenville Community Center. This phase of work is scheduled to take 6 to 8 months, and the kickoff meeting with the architecture team is on Tuesday, May 20th. Downtown Conference Center. We are poised for our next catalytic project. Public-private partnerships sparked the stunning transformation of our downtown, and we will be putting forth our best efforts to bring to life the long-awaited Downtown Conference Center. The City of Greenville is looking for our next partner as we have started the process of selecting a team to develop a hotel and conference center with unique character and exceptional style that is distinctly Greenville. As I get close to concluding tonight's remarks, I want to say thank you to the incredible staff of the City of Greenville. Our team worked hard this year to present a budget that addressed all of your priorities. First, I want to recognize and thank Patricia Dennis, the city's Chief Financial Officer, and Christina Junker, our Budget Administrator, for their exceptional work. It is in part because of them that our city is in such a strong financial position, and I never miss an opportunity to say that Greenville is the only city in South Carolina to have a AAA rating from all 3 credit rating agencies. The city is also a winner of the Government Finance Officers Association's Triple Crown. I invited the members of the senior leadership team to join me this evening because they are the driving force behind everything we've accomplished. I couldn't be prouder, and I'm especially proud that we function as one unified team. As one of our department's business cards says, one team, unified goals. So we are celebrating our own newsroom here. We are building our own newsroom here at the city, an initiative our communications director and I are passionate about. I'd like to share some social media insights from the past year. From Hurricane Helene to the Table Rock wildfires, and most recently the Church Street Bridge project, the City of Greenville has proven to be a trusted source of information, not only for our residents, but for people throughout the region and beyond. Growth on Instagram and Facebook city platforms. This year, 8 million accounts were reached, 40 million video views, and 55,000 followers gained. As a news source, during Hurricane Helene, 3 million users viewed city content in the first 3 days on Facebook, Instagram, and our city website. We gained 17,500 followers during the storm. During the Table Rock Complex fire, or Table Rock fires, we gained 9,500 followers, and state agencies and other government accounts shared our content rather than creating their own original posts. The Bonser Forge Wellness Arena announcement had more engagement on the city post than any local news source. But we do look at collaboration, and we had 65 Instagram collaborative posts with our community partners this year, including Bonser Forge Wellness Arena, the Peace Center, GSP Airport, the Greenville Triumph, Greenville Drive, the Southeastern Conference, and Clemson Baseball. Our Shop GVL had 30 retailers participate in the holiday giveaway, and our Don GVL is now in season 2 of the YouTube series with news and honored restaurants. Many of our city departments' great work was recognized at both the state and national levels this year. Our PRT team won the International Festivals and Events Association Award for Bank of America Fall for Greenville and for Greenville Jazz Fest. They won the Best of the Upstate Awards for Falls Park and Bank of America Fall for Greenville. And US Today 10 Best Awards for Bank of America Fall for Greenville, Falls Park, United Community, Ice on Main, and the Poinsettia Christmas Parade. The city's GIS Division and Risk Management Office received a 2024 Special Achievement in GIS Award from Esri for their innovative web application, Access GBL. The city also received the Silver Palmetto Award for its work to promote inclusiveness for individuals with disabilities, and this included project work on Access GBL and Brooks Playground. And our human resources team had the city selected as a VETS Index recognized employer in the 2025 Vets Index Employer Awards. Our Public Works Fleet Division was awarded a bronze medal as number 3 on Napa Fleet Management Association's list of the 100 best fleets in America. And Public Works received the Building Bridges Connecting Communities Project of the Year Award for the Ebaugh Bridge Repair Project. I'd also like to recognize some of our employees who received special individual recognitions this year. Buddy Skinner and Chris Stover in Building and Codes, Lee Paletti, Logan Wells, Eva Bateman, and Mike Spinelli in the City Attorney's Office, Jasmine Curtis in Greenlee, Brian Davis in the City Manager's Office, Edward Kinney in Planning, Laquan Priest in PRT, and Jennifer Simpson and Mark Jarrett in Public Works. As I've mentioned before, for many of us, public service is not a job, it's a calling. I'm incredibly grateful that this talented team was called to serve the city of Greenville. Although the mayor, city council members, and I often receive compliments and thanks from our community, we never forget that you all are the ones who truly deserve the recognition and appreciation. I'd like to take a moment to share a few of the notes I received this year. I just want to extend my heartfelt thanks to both of you for following through and ensuring the landscaping and sprinkler system was restored, just as you said it would be. On behalf of myself and the other 37 homeowners, we truly appreciate your responsiveness and commitment. It makes a meaningful difference when city leadership stands behind their word, and your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Thank you again for your support. Your website was great. I found out about yard and limb pickup with no trouble. Being 73 years old, I'm not tech savvy, but the website is senior friendly. So progressive. Just one of the many things that makes Greenville fabulous. Oh my stars. No sooner had I read your email than I noticed there was a crew already working on tracks. You all are awesome. Here's my favorite line. I wish all levels of government were as responsive and as efficient as you are. And finally, since coming to Greenville in 2021, I have been pleasantly surprised at how well the local government functions. To the senior leadership team, with my deepest appreciation, thank you. You and your teams work tirelessly to keep our city running smoothly every day, and I'm truly honored to serve alongside you two. And to Mayor and City Council, thank you for your exceptional leadership within this community. We, our entire community, are incredibly fortunate that you have chosen to serve in these roles. Further, your trust, confidence, and unwavering support of the city staff mean the world to us. Your continued belief in our work truly makes a difference. The line that most often gets quoted back to me from last year's State of the City was, when a permit needs to be expedited, we do it. When a fee needs to be waived, we do it. When a last-minute inspection is required, we do it. You get the gist. So for 2025, I think it's appropriate to say, when a crisis happens, we immediately deploy resources and our first responders respond in record time. We do it. When bridges and infrastructure repairs are needed with creative solutions and broad-scale communications, we do it. When our unhoused need creative, community-driven solutions and funding support, we do it. When important news, local updates, and guidance need to be widely disseminated, we do it. When our local businesses need our support in many varied fashions, we do it. When our community needs us to advocate for state and federal funding for important community resources, we do it. When our community needs resource fairs to connect with jobs and services, we do it. When our community needs us to waive fees and expedite permits to support construction and rehabilitation, we do it. And when our community needs long-term planning and policy changes so that we can meet future challenges, we do it. Whatever challenges arise, we are there. Why? Because we are a unified community, one that comes together to support each other for the greater good. Time and again, we witness this in our community, a place where collaboration, understanding, and empathy guide our interactions, fostering a deep sense of belonging and shared responsibility. We see this every day in our neighborhoods, with our community partners, among our citizens, across our development teams, with government collaborators, and with our own staff. When a community achieves true unity, it shows in the way people come together to solve problems, celebrate our successes, and confront challenges. One of my favorite hymns includes the line, "Behold, behold, behold what love can do." In our community, we can confidently say, "Behold, behold, behold what unity can do." Thank you.
One last bow. Wow.
We've got 4 minutes for the regular meeting.
Well, we're not gonna take a few minutes out for everybody to make comments on how wonderful it was. So I'll just let y'all just say one or two words. One or two words. Get it straight. All right.
Fantastic. That's my one word.
Exceptional.
John?
Thank
Oh.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Well, I've been on council the longest. We've never had a glowing section to talk about the great things that we have done for the city. It gives me inspiration because it says that we value the people who do the work. And I thank you for spending the time to compliment them and to say who actually does the work. It's kind of Thank you so much. And to the staff, ooh, wow. Now, see, y'all, somebody gonna have to get another idea to top that. I don't know, maybe we're gonna have to put sparkles or sprinkles or something. But that was magnificent, covering so many areas. Even if you got a copy of the speech, you'd have to have an hour to be able to give it, right? Hello. Because it's so much. And that's why it was important for us to take the time out to pay attention and to listen to all of the things that have been done and contributed in the city and the departments, that particular work. It made me a little tired, but hey. But that tells me the value of our staff and what they do for the city of Greenville. And we thank all of you, and we thank you for blessing us with the correct information for them and for appreciating them in a way that we have not done ever before. And I thank you so very, very much. Hey, council, you got 1 minute. If anybody needs to take a, have to wait. Staff, y'all got 1 minute.